Welcome to Daily Progress Gear, where we explore the profound shifts in mindset that transform ordinary lives into extraordinary success stories. Today, we're diving into a powerful parable about wealth, identity, and the law of exchange. In the middle of a bustling city, full of noise and haste, there sat a man who believed he possessed absolutely nothing. He defined his entire existence by what he lacked, waiting passively for the charity of strangers to sustain his fragile life. Day after day, he practiced the habit of dependency, believing the world owed him survival simply because he was suffering. But one fateful afternoon, the rhythm of his ordinary despair was interrupted. A successful businessman walked down the street, radiating an energy of purpose and value. Seeing the obvious wealth, the beggar rushed forward, certain this man could easily spare enough money to change his day. The businessman stopped abruptly, looking down not with pity, but with a piercing curiosity. He didn't drop a coin into the hat. Instead, he asked a question that would shatter the beggar's entire worldview. He asked simply and firmly, "If I give you my hard-earned money, what value do you have to offer me in return?" The beggar was stunned into silence. He had never considered that he was required to give anything back to anyone. He stammered that he had absolutely nothing, that he was just a poor, hungry man with empty hands. The businessman turned away, stating, "If you have nothing to offer, then you have no right to demand anything either." Those words struck him harder than hunger ever had, echoing in his mind and challenging the very foundation of his identity. For the first time, he looked at his own hands, not as tools for begging, but as instruments that were currently useless. He began to understand the law of exchange, realizing a transaction requires two sides, and he had been missing one half. Confused and hurt, he wandered into a park, trying to find something, anything, that he could call his own. His eyes fell upon a patch of wildflowers growing freely by the path, ignored by most, but beautiful in their simplicity. A sudden idea sparked in his mind. He gathered a small bunch, realizing that beauty itself could be a form of value. The next day, he waited. When the businessman approached, he did not beg. Instead, he offered the small bouquet of wildflowers. The businessman paused, surprised. The man was no longer just taking, he was attempting to give something back. The beggar spoke softly, saying that today he had something to give, offering the flowers as a fair exchange. The businessman smiled, accepting the small wildflowers with genuine gratitude, and handed over a coin. But this coin represented far more than simple currency. For the first time, the money felt different in his hand. It wasn't charity. It was a payment for value he had provided. The businessman leaned in and told him, "You are no longer a beggar. You are a merchant who has just completed his first transaction." As the businessman walked away, the man stood taller. He realized his identity had shifted the moment he decided to offer value. He began to scour the city for the most beautiful blooms, investing his time and effort to find quality that others would desire. He reinvested his small earnings into better presentation, understanding that packaging and care added even more value. He no longer sat on the ground. He stood upright, facing the world eye to eye, inviting customers rather than begging for pity. People began to stop, not out of guilt, but because they genuinely wanted the beauty he offered to brighten their lives. With his profits, he cleaned himself up, shedding the physical appearance of a beggar to match the new identity growing inside him. He purchased simple, clean clothes, and when he looked in the mirror, he saw a businessman in the making, not a victim. Months passed, and his small venture grew from a handful of wild blooms into a mobile cart filled with colorful, fragrant arrangements. He learned the art of arrangement, understanding his customers were buying emotions and gestures of love, not just plants. He managed his resources with discipline, saving every extra penny to invest in his future, driven by a vision of growth. Eventually, the mobile cart was replaced by a small shop, a physical testament to the power of his transformed mindset. He hired others, teaching them the same principles of value and service that had lifted him from the pavement. 5 years later, he stood inside his flagship boutique, a respected establishment known throughout the city for its elegance and quality. He was now a wealthy man, not just in financial terms, but in the richness of his spirit. One rainy afternoon, the door chime rang, and in walked a familiar figure, older now, but possessing that same confident aura. The shop owner recognized him instantly. The man who had refused him a coin, but had given him a future. The older businessman didn't recognize the successful figure before him, seeing only a peer, another captain of industry. The owner personally selected the finest arrangement in the store, wrapped it with care, and presented it with a look of deep reverence. When the customer reached for his wallet, the owner stopped him, whispering that this debt was paid long ago with a lesson. He repeated the words that had saved him. "If you have nothing to give, you have no right to ask." Recognition dawned on the old man's face, followed by a smile of immense pride. They shook hands, not as master and beggar, but as equals who understood the fundamental secret of wealth and personal dignity. This story illustrates a powerful truth. Your external reality is a reflection of your internal definition of who you are. As long as he identified as a beggar, he could only receive scraps. His mindset trapped him in a cycle of dependency. You see, money and success are like a river. They flow toward those who provide value and away from those who only seek to stagnate. The moment you stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "What can I give?" the universe opens its doors. You must first change your self-identity. You cannot behave like a king if you secretly view yourself as a pauper. True wealth isn't just accumulating currency. It's accumulating character, discipline, and the ability to serve others. That man kept a dried wildflower on his desk as a reminder that even the smallest offering has value if given with dignity. This is the essence of the daily progress gear philosophy. Adjust the gears of your mind, and your life will move forward. Stop waiting for a savior to drop coins in your hat. Become the person who creates value and commands their own destiny. Remember these 3 pillars: create real value, engage in fair exchange, and build a strong identity that commands respect. Take a moment today to ask yourself, what is the flower you can offer to the world right now, right where you are? It doesn't matter where you start. It only matters that you decide to contribute something meaningful. The world is full of abundance, waiting for those brave enough to stand up and trade their skills for success. Stop complaining about what you lack, and start cultivating what you have. Even if it's just a simple wildflower, every step you take away from dependency is a step toward freedom, dignity, and the life you've always dreamed of. So I leave you with this question. In the story of your own life, are you playing the beggar or the businessman? Thank you for watching this journey of transformation here on Daily Progress Gear. If this story resonated with you, please like this video and share it with someone who needs a shift in perspective. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below about a time you turned a small value into something greater. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll dive deep into the art of discipline. Remember, progress isn't an accident. It's a deliberate gear you turn every single day. This is Daily Progress Gear, signing off. Keep moving forward, keep creating value, and we'll see you in the next video.